Hello everyone, I'm Manish KV from Srinivas Institute of Technology, here to talk about HTML. Uh, we use websites and web pages every day, but have you ever wondered how these web pages are made, how they are designed? Uh, they are designed using HTML. So what is HTML? HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, is the standard language used to create and design web pages. It provides the structure of the content, including headings, paragraphs, lists, links, images, and other elements. Understanding HTML is crucial for anyone interested in web development, as it forms the foundation for building visually appealing and interactive web pages. So, when we create a web page, we basically use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML, it gives the basic structure for a web page. The CSS, it creates the feel and the appearance of the web pages and makes it more attractive and user friendly. And the JavaScript, it it gives the functionality to that web page that you created using HTML and made it better using CSS. We won't be talking about CSS and JavaScript right now. We'll be just looking at the HTML and try to understand the basics for creating a web page. So, HTML is a structured language that uses tags to define the different parts of a web page. These tags are used to create the structure and appearance of content, such as headings, paragraphs, and images. Universal language. So, when we think of website, we must be able to operate in any device possible, right? May it be a mobile phone or a MacBook or a Windows or a Linux. It should be compatible to every single device. So for this to happen, HTML must be compatible to every device. So HTML is a universal language which is compatible to every device and every system possible. It's a building block. HTML serves as the building block of a web page, providing the foundation on which other technologies are created. CSS and JavaScript are added to enhance the appearance and functionality of that web page. The basic structure of an HTML document. First, the document type declaration. The document type declaration specifies the document type and version of HTML being used. So when we start writing an HTML code, first we declare the type of document, which is HTML, and also we write the we write the version of the HTML we are using, so that the web browser, when it renders the HTML code, it's easier for it to create the web page. The HTML elements. The HTML element serves as the root of HTML document. It contains all other elements such as head and body. The basic three elements of a HTML code are HTML, head, and a body. You start and end a code with the HTML tag, and you have a head which is start by a head tag and also ends with the head tag. And similarly, a body of content which starts with the body tag and ends with the body tag. So the head section contains meta information about the web page, such as title, character set, reference to external sources. When you search for a web page in your search engine, you get a description about the web page and a title to that web page. This content is declared in the head section. So what you see from the from the search engine is what you write in the head section. The body section contains the actual content of the web page, including text, images, links, and other elements. So you search for a website in a search engine and you get a top search saying let's say html.com, and the html.com is the title of your HTML section. The head sections has titles, right? The title is html.com, and the description which are shown in the search engine is what you write in the head section. And when you open that web page, you get the content that you have written using the body section. All the content that you see inside the web page is written in the body section, may it be the images or the videos or the links or just the text. It's all declared in the body section. HTML tags and elements. First, the heading tag, paragraph tag, link tags, and image tags. What are heading tags? Heading tags from H1 to H6 define the headings of different sizes within the web page. The order of the heading is as per the number H1 to H6. The H1 will be the bigger heading and the H6 will be the smaller one, the smallest one. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So, uh, when you look at a web page, there will be a first heading, which is the largest one, that will be the H1. And below that, a subsection with the heading H2, which will be slightly smaller than H1. Similarly, H3, H4, H5, and H6, which gets smaller as per the number. The larger the number, the smaller the size. And then the paragraph tags. Paragraph tags are used to define paragraphs of text within a web page, providing better organization and readability. So when you have to write a content into a web page, you use the paragraph tag, which is a p tag, where you write all the content into inside those tags between the opening and closing tags. What we write in the paragraph tag is shown in the output or shown in the web page. It is displayed there. The link tags A, which is anchor, allows the inclusion of hyperlinks to navigate to other web pages or resources on the internet. So in the anchor tag, we have to specify we have to write the link, and you can write a small line or word which will be displayed in the web page. And when you tap on that text or sentence that you have written along with the link won't be displayed there. Just the text will be displayed there. But when you tap on the sentence or the word which is initialized to the link gets open. The link is anchored to the sentence or the word to which you have initialized it. The image tags is simply IMG. They are used to display images. You paste the link of the image that you want to display along with the image tag, image source equal to the link of the image that you want to display. Now let's just write a small HTML basic code so we can understand it better. So I use VS Code to write the HTML tags. You can also use notepads or any other online applications too. So here we have a basic structure of an HTML code. First the document type, then the HTML tag along with the language with which it is initialized, then the head tag. The head tag starts here and it ends with the front slash head tag. Inside the head tag, we specify the description, the titles of the web page. As you can see, the title is written here. I have given the title as document, and after the head comes the body. We can write the paragraphs inside the body. where the content is written. So if I will be writing a basic HTML program, then close the p tag, then close the body tag, and then in the HTML tag. The end of HTML tag, it denotes the end of the whole code, where the code doesn't stop until you have written the front slash HTML tag. So the HTML code always starts with the HTML tag and ends with the front slash HTML tag. So here is the output. We have written a basic HTML program. The title will not be displayed inside the content as I already told, it will be displayed in the search engine, which we have written in the head. What we write in the body is displayed in the web page. In the body, I had written inside the paragraph, I had written a basic HTML program, which is later on displayed in the web page that I have created. A basic HTML program. Text formatting in HTML. HTML provides tags such as emphasize and bold to emphasize and highlight the specific text within the page. So when I want to emphasize or make a particular text bold, like I have a sentence and I want to highlight something in that sentence, I use the tags emphasize and bold. As the name says, it emphasizes and makes the particular statement bold. The heading styles. Heading tags allows content to be displayed in various sizes, from larger main headings to smaller subheadings. This we have discussed already. The H1, H2, H3, those heading tags. The larger main heading is the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. These are the heading styles that we'll be using. Font styles. Tags like span and font can be used to change text color, style, and other font-related attributes. HTML doesn't give you a large dictionary of styling options like CSS does. You can link CSS to HTML and get a huge library to just stylize your HTML program. So with what we have in HTML, we can do a certain things there which can be helpful. So tags like span and font give you few functions which can help you stylize HTML without CSS. Adding images and links. We can add images and links to the HTML code. As we know, web pages, they have images, videos, right? We can also add audios to it. Images and links are one of the most basic types of elements that we add to the HTML program. Image tags are used to display images within a web pages. Anchor tags allow the inclusion of hyperlinks to other web pages or resources. Attributes, both images and anchor tags, have attributes for defining the source, target, and other settings. Creating lists in HTML. Order list, unorder list, description list. So if we want to create a table, not table, but if you want to just list the content that we have in a web page, like if I'm making a web page um, of the places I can tour to, so I'll be making a list of places that I can visit or the places with good tourism there. So I can use the tags OL, UL, or DL. What the UL does, it creates the ordered list. What ordered list is? You have a particular order to how the elements are linked there. Now that we have discussed about the basic tags and elements in the HTML, we try to write a small code on making a personal portfolio. So I have imported the basic structure of HTML and we'll be writing the content into the body. First, let's get a header. In the header, first, as we are writing a portfolio, first we'll be writing the person's name, then what he's doing. That's what portfolio has, right? Using first, I'll be using the h1 tag. Inside the h1 tag, I'll be writing your name, and I'll be creating a paragraph tag with the occupation that is web developer, or we can just name the person here. Let's name him John, and John is our web developer. Now we'll be creating a portfolio for John. This will be my header for my portfolio. Now I'll be creating a section. In the first section, I'll be writing about John, or where the if I'm creating a portfolio for myself, I'll be writing about myself first. Then write a first I'll be giving a short description or short brief. Then I'll be giving a bit big content saying telling about myself. H2 acid. We don't want the second to be bigger than the first one. Right? The main part is our name, John, and talking about himself should be coming under him. So it will be one size smaller than the first heading. In H2, we'll be having about me, and then we'll be writing about John. Write a brief about John. We don't know much about John, so we'll be writing just this much. And then we'll be ending a section. In the first section, in the first we had the header with the name and his occupation. In the second section, we have information about John. Then we'll be creating another section. And in the second section, we'll be saying the works done by John. As both this section come under the first header. It's not the first section was under the header, but the second section doesn't come under the first header. So the both sections will be having the same header that are H2, and the second section will be for skills. So now we'll be listing the skills of John. We'll be using an order list. So when we use order list, we'll be getting the numbers in front of the list. We The numbers are not necessary right now, so we'll be using the unordered list, which just shows the bullets in front of the list. The tag for unordered list is UL, and then we will list John's skills. John is good at HTML. John is good at CSS, and John is also good at JavaScript. John is a full stack developer, I think. And this is his portfolio. And as he's a full stack developer, we'll also be making a section to put all his projects there. And a heading to display projects. Here let's use the order list so we can get the total number of projects he has completed right now. The tag for order list is OL, and then this project one. So this is the order list that shows the projects completed by John. So we have had a header here. So if we have a header, we'll be having a footer too. So let's declare the footer, and in footer, we'll write how we can contact John. Contact, let's write John's email address. So we have a HTML code that has John's portfolio. So this is the output which shows John's portfolio. John, which is his name, which was the heading one. As you can see, the size of John is larger than about me because we use the H1 tag to write John and H2 tag to write about me. About me, skills and projects are of the same size as we have used the same tags there. And we have also used the unordered list and ordered list. We have used the unordered list to list the skills of John, which were HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As you can see, bullet points indicates the list here, and they are not ordered. It doesn't matter if the order is exchanged. If JavaScript comes on the top and HTML comes on the bottom, it doesn't matter because the list need not be ordered. We use the OL tag for projects, which was ordered list. So in front of the project 1, project 2, project 3, we have numbers 1, 2, 3, which shows the order of the project. So now, coding example, we have seen how the order list works, how the lists are different from each other, tables and forms in HTML. So we can create tables and forms using HTML. In web pages, when we display a table, we use certain tags to create those tables. Table structure. Table in HTML consists of rows and columns used to organize and display data in structured format. Form elements. HTML provides form tags like form, input, text area, and select to create interactive user input forms within web pages. Data presentation. Tables are essential for presenting tabular data, while forms enable user interaction and data submission on web pages. So in web pages, we don't just see things, we can interact with them. There are buttons, there are forms that you can fill. So to create these, we use the form elements and table elements. Let's write a HTML code for a table example. Let's create the HTML file table.html and import the basic structure. The document type is HTML. It has the head, and now we'll be putting the content into the body. Let's create a sample table. I have used the element table, which indicates the start of the table. So we have to declare the border of the size of the border of the table here. So let's take the border equal to 1. What does the table have? Table has rows and columns. So to the element that represents table rows are TR. Then we have TH, which is written inside the row. TH means table heading, where we have the header context of the table. So the first heading be header 1. Let's create 3 more table heads. Header 2 and then header 3. This will be our first row. Now we'll be creating the second row. Our second row will be having the column 1, column 2, and column 3. But now we are not declaring the table head. The table can only have one header. So now we are declaring table data. We are putting in the data for the table. We are putting in the content in there. So the element for table data is TD, which has row 1 and column 1. So in this table, the first row has 3 columns, uh, and the data I have written the column name and the row name in the data itself. And we'll having another row. Total will be having 3 rows in this table. It will be a square, 3 into 3, 3 rows and 3 columns. Here, table data. Row 2, column 1. Row 2, column 2. row 2, column 3. Let's add the third row now. Row 3, column 1. Row 3, column 2. And then row 3, column 3. And this will be our table, which has 3 rows and 3 columns and a header. So I have created a table using HTML, which has 3 rows and 3 columns along with the header. And the name that I have given to this table was sample table, which is displayed here. And the border length was 1. If I change the border length to 10, we can see that the thickness of the border changes. You can change the thickness of border as you want, as per your wish. So now let's try another code example. We will try to make a resume page using HTML. I will name the HTML file as resume.html and then import the basic structure. You can import the basic structure by simply typing the exclamation mark. You will import the basic structure there. You need not write the basic structure code again and again. You can just import it. So what do I need in my resume? Well, first, I'll be having name in the what I am. If we have discussed about John, right? He was a web developer. So we will write web developer. He's a web developer in the header file. Then let's go to his education. What is his education? Then if he has any experience and the skills he possesses. These are the things that we'll be having in a resume. Let's create a HTML code for resume now. The resume code is similar to the portfolio file that we created earlier. It starts with the header. Then we'll be writing our name. Let's take John as our example again. And what is John? He's a web developer. This is our header section. Now we'll be having the section 1. In section 1, we'll be writing the education qualification of John. H2 education. A paragraph tag and John has a bachelor degree in computer science. Now in the second section, we'll be writing the experience that John has. Section 2, H2, experience. So our friend John has experience as web developer in a company XYZ. Web developer at XYZ company. This is the second section. We can also let's describe what he was working at, what he's good at. Okay. So our friend John was a front-end developer at the same company, or we can write he has several more experience. Let's transfer him to another company. PD, he was a front-end, he was a front-end developer at ABC company. So John has already worked in two companies. That is experience. That's the end of two sections. Now let's create a third section that shows the skills possessed by John. Section 3, H2, skills. So we'll be doing the same thing that we did in portfolio. We'll be creating an unordered list of experience, sorry, the unordered list of skills that John has. Well, then this the skills of John. As John's a web developer, he knows HTML, he knows CSS, and he knows JavaScript. And this is the end of our third section. Now let's add the footer. In the footer, we will be giving the contact information. So this is the code for a resume using HTML. Let's see the output for this code now. So here's John's resume. He's a web developer. His education is BE degree in computer science, and we have listed his experience and skills. Yeah, yes, this doesn't actually look like a resume, but this is the basic structure for how you can write it. You can make it look like an actual resume using CSS, which makes the appearance better. Knowing CSS along with HTML is actually a better way to progress. Just knowing HTML won't be enough. It will never be enough. HTML is a basic structure, but to like if you're creating a house, you need the foundation, you need how it looks, you need the appearance, and you need functionality. You can't create a house without even by missing a single one of these. So same goes to web development. When you're developing a web page, you need all three of these, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the structure, the appearance, and the functionality. So today we have discussed about the functionality of the web page, how we can create a basic version without thinking much about the appearance. HTML access and foundation while creating a web page. So if you're trying to get into web designing or you want to be a full stack developer, knowing HTML is one of the basic needs there. So I hope I have at least done something to and make you understand about HTML. That's all. It was a I was just it was it's just an introduction to HTML. So I won't be going deep into it. I won't be talking like all the complicated things here, just the basic ones, the easy topics here. So if you find HTML interesting, just try to learn more. There are there are several videos on YouTube. There are websites that help you learn HTML. Go through it, and if you're really interested in being a web developer, this is where you start. This is where you start and progress from here. Without this, yeah, you can start from other part, but knowing HTML first actually helps in this process. And yeah, I hope everyone has gained something from this. I thank you guys for giving an opportunity, I guess, and to everyone in the chat, thank you guys for just being here and going through the video. Thank you.